Здравствуйте. Доброе утро. Добрый день. Меня зовут Вера Алексеевна Полякова-Норвуд. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Сейчас вы в школе. Сейчас вы на уроке. Вы изучаете русский язык. Вы уже хорошо понимаете по-русски. На уроке мы много говорим по-русски. Мы много говорим, читаем и пишем. А о чем? About what? О чем мы говорим на уроке? Мы говорим о том, что мы делаем утром. We talk about what we do in the morning. Мы говорим о том, что мы делаем утром. А что вы делаете утром? Утром мы завтракаем, а потом, and then, later, а потом мы спешим в школу. Мы спешим в школу или на работу. В школу, на работу. These phrases express our destination. Do you remember which case we employ to express destination or direction? The accusative case. So let's take a look at some of the phrases that express destination. В парк, в институт, в кинотеатр, в школу, в библиотеку. Notice that we are using the preposition в, and then the name of a destination appears in the accusative case. Feminine nouns in the accusative case change their endings from a to u. В школу, в библиотеку. Masculine nouns, masculine inanimate nouns remain the same. В парк, в институт, в кинотеатр. Please read these phrases out loud in your classrooms. Хорошо. Хорошо. You remember that most of the Russian nouns, when we use them to express destination, require the use of the preposition в школу, в библиотеку, в парк, в театр, в кинотеатр, в ресторан. But there's a group of nouns in the Russian language that use the preposition на работу, на почту, на фабрику. Let's take a look at our на phrases. На работу, на фабрику, на почту, на завод, на стройку. And you remember that I advised you to memorize the на phrases. На работу, to work, на фабрику, to the factory, на почту, to the post office, на завод, to the plant, and на стройку, to the construction site. Just go ahead and memorize these phrases with the preposition на. So please read the phrases out loud in your classrooms. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So you need to memorize your now phrases as soon as possible, as quickly as you can. And then things will be so much easier. But I know that students agonize over this issue. Why do we sometimes use the preposition v and why do we use the preposition na with some nouns? Well, the preposition v literally means in or into, and we use it with enclosed spaces, countries, cities. We say в Москву, в Санкт-Петербург, в Россию, в Америку. These are examples with cities and countries. В школу. And the Russian word школа, as you should remember, means school building. So you literally have to go inside the building. That's why we use the preposition в. Or в библиотеку. Again, that's a building. And when you go to the library, you go inside the building. В библиотеку. The preposition на is more widely used with unenclosed spaces, with open spaces. But again, it's difficult to go by this rule because you really have to look at each noun and trace the history of it. That's why I'm urging you to just go ahead and memorize it. And don't worry about the history of the Russian language and how that word originated in the 16th century and it used to mean one thing, then in the 20th century it is used in a completely different meaning, so this rationale for using the preposition na with it is completely gone. Just make your memory work for you and things will be so much easier. But I asked you to read section 7.1 and 7.2 in the textbook. And here you can find some explanations about the use of the preposition v and the preposition na. But the best way to handle it is to make your memory work for you. Just learn your na phrases. And the rest of the words, use them with the preposition v. So now we can close the issue of v and na with the destination phrases. But one more time, let's take a look at the na phrases. That's what you need to remember. На работу, на фабрику, на почту, на завод, на стройку. When you see these words in an exercise or in a translation exercise, you need to know which preposition to use. And again, it's not a large list of phrases, so just learn it. And what can make it easier for you? What will make you memorize it quickly? Probably another exercise, right? When you really start doing it, you remember things better. So get your pens and pencils ready. И мы делаем упражнения. Мы пишем по-русски. I want you to translate these sentences from English into Russian. And please use prepositions appropriately. Ну, хорошо. Так, let's take a look at your translation. So, in the morning, we go to school by bus. In the morning, утром, мы едем, and this is our destination, to school, в школу. And then we express a vehicle, на автобусе. Утром Мы едем в школу на автобусе. And I want you to notice this. We express our destination by using the accusative case. And then we express a vehicle using the prepositional case. So you have to observe this delicate balance in this sentence. You have to know when to use which case. Destination is expressed by means of the accusative case, and you need the prepositional case to express a vehicle. Please do not forget these things. This is what we are working on, the use of cases. Let's take a look at our second sentence. Иван Иванович walks to work. Иван Иванович идет на работу пешком. Now he walks to work, so we say идет пешком. And we express his destination by means of using the accusative case. На работу, to work, towards work. Иван Иванович идет на работу пешком. And работа, as you well know, is one of your now words. На работу пешком. Хорошо. Our third sentence says Victor and Anton go to the university by car. Виктор и Антон едут в университет. This is their destination, to the university, в университет. And then we express the vehicle, на машине. And you know that when it comes to expressing a vehicle, we use the prepositional case. Here's your prepositional case, е ending. На машине, by car. В университет, to the university. This is their destination, and we use the accusative case. So please remember, accusative case expresses destination, the prepositional case expresses a vehicle. Хорошо. Хорошо. Итак, утром все спешат на работу. In the morning, everybody's trying to get to work. Everybody's in a hurry to get to work. Утром все спешат на работу. Все спешат. Everybody is in a hurry. But this little word все, which means everybody, is a plural pronoun in the Russian language. Все спешат. This explains the plural verb form. Все спешат на работу. And that's their destination. Работа, work. На работу, towards work. Утром все спешат на работу. Ну, хорошо. So, инженеры, engineers, инженеры едут на завод. Школьники едут в школу. А студенты спешат в университет. Студенты спешат в университет. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So we have been talking a lot about expressing people's destination, where they are trying to get. But you also know that it's very important for us not to confuse destination with location. So this is something that we need to take another look at. Destination and location. In your textbooks, this is discussed in section 7.1. So you need to find урок номер 7, lesson 7, section 7.1. 7.1. Direction versus location. Direction is where people are trying to get. Location is where people happen to be at the moment. And again, the Russian language uses different means. It uses different cases to express location and destination. And we need to keep these two issues separate. So we need to know which case expresses what thing. So let's take a look at this. We are discussing expressing direction and expressing location. Иван Иванович идет на работу в гараж. What are we expressing in this sentence? Direction or location? Ivan Ivanovich is going to the garage. He is going to work to the garage. That's his destination. That's the direction in which he is going. And which case do we employ here? The accusative case. It's the accusative case that helps us with direction, destination. Look at the second sentence. Иван Иванович работает в гараже. Ivan Ivanovich works at the garage. Now we express the location where he works. Иван Иванович работает в гараже. And garage appears with the "е" ending on it. So which case are we using now? Иван Иванович работает в гараже. The prepositional case. And this is something that everybody ought to remember at all times. The accusative case expresses direction, or you can call it destination. The accusative case expresses direction, destination. The prepositional case is used to express location. Хорошо. This difference is also reflected in the way we ask questions about direction and location. So let's take a look at the following. Again, we are contrasting direction and location. When we ask about direction or destination, we begin our question with куда, where to. Куда идет Максим? Куда идут папа и мама? Or куда вы едете утром? Where do you go in the morning? Куда вы едете утром? When you ask about direction, you begin with куда. Now, when you need to ask about location, where does he live? Where does he work? Or where is Maxim now? You start with где. Где живет Иван Иванович? Где работает Анна Петровна? Где сейчас Максим и Нина? Direction, location. Even the question words are very different. Куда is used to begin a question about direction or destination, and the interrogative word где begins a question about a person's location. So please keep these two issues separate. Ну, хорошо. So let's work on another exercise. Let's take a look at this. The big question is, куда они идут утром? Where do they go in the morning? That's right. Where do they go in the morning? Куда они идут утром? You need to read the questions here and figure out where these people will be going in the morning. So you have about a minute to come up with your answers. Куда они идут утром? Ну, хорошо, хорошо. So let's begin by looking at Anton's case. Антон учится в школе. Anton studies at school. So where does he go in the morning? To school. Антон идет в школу. Антон идет в школу. Виктор Петрович работает в институте. So we can assume that Виктор Петрович идет в институт. That's his destination in the morning. To the institute. В институт. Николай Андреевич работает на заводе. So again we can assume that that's where he goes in the morning, to the plant. Николай Андреевич идет на завод. So in each of these sentences, we expressed their destination. В школу, в институт, на завод. And we used which case? The accusative case. The accusative case expresses direction, destination. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. And how about Иван Иванович и его семья? Let's find out. In урок номер 7, on page 147, there's a text. And the title of the text is «Кто, куда идет утром?» Now let's translate this. Кто, who, куда, where to, идет, goes, утром, in the morning. So what does it say? Who goes where in the morning? We have to change the word order in the English sentence. Кто, куда идет утром? Who goes where in the morning? Well, let's start working on this text. Today we will only take a look at the first paragraph. So please follow me very closely. Итак, сейчас 7 часов. Все идут на работу. Вот Иван Иванович Петров. Он идет в гараж. Он работает недалеко. А его жена идет в школу. Она учительница. Они идут вместе. Их дочь Нина тоже идет в школу. А Максим и Маша идут в детский сад. Ну а сейчас скажите, пожалуйста, now answer my questions. Который час? Сейчас 7 часов. That's the first sentence in our text. Сейчас 7 часов. Куда идет Иван Иванович? Он идет в гараж. And notice that the next sentence says он работает недалеко. Недалеко means not far, close, not far. Он работает недалеко. А куда идет Анна Петровна? Она идет в школу. Она идет в школу. Она учительница. Так. And notice that Иван Иванович и Анна Петровна идут вместе. It looks like his garage is not very far away from her school, so they can walk to work together. Они идут вместе. Так, а Нина? Куда идет Нина? Нина тоже идет в школу. Нина тоже идет в школу. А Максим и Маша, куда они идут? Они идут в детский сад. Maxim и Masha are still very young, so they go to the kindergarten. And Masha, as you should remember, is a little girl from unit number 6. She is the one who was looking out the window with her grandmother. Максим и Маша идут в детский сад. Now you know everything about Иван Иванович и его семья и куда они идут утром. Now I want you to practice reading this first paragraph, and you can do this as soon as this lesson is over. But we are not finished yet. In this text, for the first time, we saw Ivan Ivanovich's last name. What is it? Find it in the book, in the text. What is Ivan Ivanovich's last name? Petrov. Ivan Ivanovich Petrov. Ivan is his first name, Ivanovich is his patronymic, and Petrov is his last name. Russian is a genderized language, and Russian last names have masculine, feminine, and plural forms. Let's take a look at this. Ivan Ivanovich Petrov. His last name ends in "ov." In fact, this ending appears on very many Russian last names. Now look at his wife's name, Anna Petrovna Petrova. Anna, first name, Petrovna, patronymic, and Petrova is her last name. It's the same name as her husband's, but it has the "a" ending on it. She's a woman. So you see the feminine "a" ending on her last name, Anna Petrovna Petrova. Maxim и Nina Petrovы. Petrovы ends in "y" because now we are talking about two people. So we need to use their last name in their plural form. Petrovы. Maxim и Nina Petrovы. So Petrov, Petrova, and Petrovы are different forms of the same last name. Russian last names are genderized. Okay. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. Right after this lesson, I want you to work on additional exercises. And at home, please take your textbooks, find Lesson 7, урок номер 7. On page 144, work on exercise 7.1 there. This is the third part of exercise 7.1. On pages 142, 143, and 146, review sections 7.1, 7.2, and 7.7. Section 7.7 will provide information about Russian last names, and this is an excellent follow-up on what we discussed during today's lesson. On page 148, read and translate the first paragraph of the text «Кто куда идет утром». Так? Also, I need to mention that you need to get ready for a grammar quiz on expressions of direction. Good luck on that one. Большое спасибо. До свидания.